and rebirth. It is Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani, Jatareshyayanam. The repeated cycle of birth happens. What happens is that even when we approach death, these needs, hierarchy of needs is not met. You're still craving. That craving is what takes you to next life. Okay? But unfortunately, nobody has told you this craving is not important. Yeah, you attend Bhagavan, that nobody has told you. Nobody, that education is missing. We are day in and day out educated every day that these needs you to satisfy. Nobody has told you that there is something more than that, more important than that and easier than that. Nobody has told you. So because that nobody has told you, you go through so many cycles of birth and death.
So is it, I've heard some people say that a human has reached a level of whatever, compared to a dog, a cat, a rat, or whatever it may be. So the rebirth is because of several rebirths. He's reached a stage, but when the rebirth happens, he will be reborn as a man because he's at a higher level, or is that untrue?
There is no guarantee. There is no guarantee that human being will be reborn as a human being. Okay? So there are two types of evolution, physical and psychological. There are two types of evolution happening. At physical level, you are better than cat, better than a monkey. Okay? Because you have a better system. That's physical. And psychological level, in the same human body, many people can be better or worse than animals. Okay? Please understand. In human body, there can be wild animals. The tigers, the snakes, the foxes. Okay? So what Upanishads and what Bhagavad Gita teaches is that, please understand, there is no guarantee that human birth is again possible. But depending on your psychological evolution and psychological need, you will get a body which satisfies that need. There are many examples for that. For example, you must have heard that Bharata Chakravarti, right? Jada Bharata. Have you heard of the story called Jada Bharata? Okay. Actually, India is called Bharata, right? Bharata is given in the name of the honor of the Chakravarti, the emperor called Bharata. Okay. So the Bharata was a great king, and he left his kingdom at the age of 45 for self-realization. When he went to the forest, a deer died in his ashram and gave birth to a baby deer. He started taking care of the baby deer. And he's forgot his all self-realization, God and all, he forgotten now. Now what becomes important is baby deer. So now at the time of death, he says, oh, who is there to take care of this? He forgot that God is there to forget. Okay, who is there to take care of this baby deer? I have taken care of so well. The next life he becomes born as a baby deer. Okay, please understand, this happened in the case of an emperor called Bharata, in whose name India was called Bharata. Okay, and that Bharata's emperor spanned from all the way from Afghanistan to Java, Sumatra, this side. Such a big emperor and such a highly realized person also. Even that person, his desire was about the deer and he came down. But of course, next life he gets a realization. That's different. But what happens is our psychological level, psychological needs will get that body. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah, please.
So there are several people who got enlightenment, right? There was Buddha. So many people who got enlightenment.
Right.
So was this the enlightenment, like give away your ego and then you're one with God? Is that what they realized after years of meditation, and was that the enlightenment?
See, there are several people realized got enlightenment, right? You told some names. What are they?
Buddha and Mahavir.
So actually what you are speaking of is only celebrities. Okay? So you are only speaking of celebrities. Buddha and Mahavir are celebrities. For all you know, enlightenment is not that only for celebrities. First thing. Okay? There are many people who are enlightened, who may be your neighbor, who may be your relative, but you won't know. Okay? The problem for us is we look for celebrities. Okay? There are very people, ordinary people, soldier, hotel employee, okay, whereas a beggar, there may be enlightened people. Okay? Don't first remove the concept that these celebrities are only enlightened. It's not true. Okay? Now, enlightenment is a very simple process. Enlightenment is not at all complex. Okay? Enlightenment is a very, very simple understanding which happens to these people. But then, to go to that level, you have to come out of this hierarchy of needs and all those things I told, right? You have to understand the uselessness of that. It's not that the person who goes for enlightenment doesn't feel hungry. He will feel hungry also. Okay? So he'll understand, he'll prioritize. This is most important for me. The priority will change. Now, at the stage of enlightenment, what they realize, I'll just tell you, please repeat with me. Okay, how many of you know Kannada? Okay. So I'll just repeat. Okay, this is what happens at the time of enlightenment. Nanu, nanembudu, nanalla, nanu, nanembudu, nanalla, ideha, mana, buddhi, nanalla, sachidanandatma, shivananu nane, shivoham, shivoham, shivoham. So we live with this notion of I, some notion. May I know your name?
Preeti Bhandarkar.
Preeti Bhandarkar is not your name. Preeti Bhandarkar is a
But
label.
everybody knows.
That's what you think you are. You're not.
Right.
Okay, that's label given to you. Okay, if you are born in China, same body, you would have been chin chin chun. Huh? Right?
Yeah, right.
It's a label,
Right.
but that label is not you. So we carry with such a bundle of labels. At the time of enlightenment, you understand all these are labels. What I am really is consciousness. That's simple understanding called enlightenment. Okay? Depending on your level of maturity, that can happen to anybody at any point of time. In fact, I would say enlightenment is much more common than what you understand. Because we are so much tuned to thinking of celebrities, we don't understand the enlightened beings in and around us. Okay? It's a very simple process. It's much more natural than our unnatural lifestyle what we have today.
But I assume it's cumulative. So when Bharata actually passed away and became a deer, he had that, he had this huge amount of good in his account. So when he came back again, he was able.
Yeah. So whatever small amount of good karma you do, whatever satsang you attend, that balance will grow. And that balance is what destroys that ignorance. And please understand, remove from your concept that God is very difficult to attain, the enlightenment is very difficult to attain. These are all creation of movies and all your Puranas. It is not. It's a very simple process, very natural process.
And I think one will not feel guilty about not being enlightened.
Actually, people don't even bother about
The
enlightenment.
question, the way people ask about it, like, why am I not enlightened? And
No. The question is, first of all, that people don't even bother about enlightenment. So when you come to satsang, you start wondering, why I am not enlightened. Till that point, there is no question of enlightenment. No. So enlightenment
the
is...
way people are asking the question, right? The question is that why am I? What do I do? And it's on, right?
Yeah.
That's a feeling that.
And no, actually, it's not. I don't take it negative. It's a desire. Actually, it's enlightenment is a state of. It's a desire, intense desire. That desire gets triggered in satsang. Okay, other desires you'll go to a advertisement, buy a car. Okay, that desire gets triggered. In satsang, the desire for enlightenment gets triggered. That's good actually, not bad about it. Okay. Any more questions? Yeah, please.
So do you have to say prayers every day and fast every day to be enlightened?
Okay, very good question. Do you have to pray every day and fast every day to be enlightened? You tell me now. What do you think?
I don't know.
You tell me. Whatever you think, you tell me.
Yes.
Yes. See, what happens? The prayer every day, the fasting once in a while. Okay. Okay. Right? Okay, what happens is that with that process, you train your mind. Understand? Otherwise, mind is like a monkey. It will dance. Now, do you want to dance with the monkey or you want to make the monkey dance? You see, mind is monkey, okay? Right? So, monkey is a nice pet now, but he should listen to you, right? So, to make the mind calm, mind is a monkey, you need to train the mind. the prayer, the fasting is a way you can make the mind calm. When the mind becomes calm, you feel deep inside the God inside you, open up. Okay. So if your fasting and prayer is important, it is important to make the mind silent and peaceful. In the silent mind and peaceful mind, you find God. Understand? In an agitated mind, you can't even read can you watch a movie? Very nice movie is that. I don't want to see movie. You can't watch a movie here. How can you watch God with the mind which is agitated? Got it? Make the mind silent, then you will know God. Okay? That's why the prayers are required. That's why fasting is required. Very good question. Okay?
Yeah, I had a comment and a question. So to what you asked and what she's asking,
Huh.
and what you mentioned earlier, once you have the desire to attain God, then there are the 4 prescribed yogas you were talking
Yeah.
about. So you can attain it in different ways, the way I understand it. So it can be as simple as devotion. Somebody like Mirabai also attained, but she used the devotion path. She didn't use the intellect path or the meditation path. So there are 4 paths you talked about. Maybe you can say that again. But once you have the desire, you can take any of these 4 paths and you can.
And I mean, the idea of we perceive everything through our senses and we have priorities in our head. So it's very difficult to
Yeah.
put aside everything. So that's what he said talking about Maya, right? So then what he said, he began by saying that you can, physics and these things takes you and it keeps on changing, which is true. But God is easy to achieve, but the desire,
Yeah.
the desire part, that makes it so difficult that or at least it feels so difficult that people spend their lives.
Oh, you're talking about the materialistic desire which pulls you down. But
Everything.
your question, I think, the way I understood was, once you have the desire, why am I not attaining it?
It's more like
No,
It's-
not
it's-
there.
it's-
Very
not
strong,
there.
very intense.
His question is pre-desire.
pre-desire. Yeah.
Really?
Pre-desire. Before desire comes, it's difficult. It's difficult because you are accustomed to that. You are conditioned with society.
Debugging code, right?
Right.
You spend 3 days and you learn 1 line of code, it's that way, right? Once you are done with the desires, then you have achieved it, is what I think.
No, the question then, you are ambassador because desire none. It's because of society. Right? I am again, it's okay.
Desire you have to have intense desire.
See, the only thing which I
I'm
want
not
to,
saying you should kill your anybody should kill anybody. I'm saying Krishna had that
Yeah.
Saying intense desire to reach God.
to reach God. His desire was so intense that when he didn't see Kali, he got so upset that he took the sword or whatever was there and he said, okay, then I don't have to live. Why am I living if I can't see?
see
Yeah,
the,
I don't necessarily
no,
believe
no.
that. That's what
See,
he was trying to
what
say.
happened now,
Celebrity
it's not required. What happened
Yeah,
was,
not required.
actually, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, when he
Yes.
came in last century,
Exactly.
at that time, Indian system had gone collapsed actually.
Right.
So what happened was, India had a very good system of spiritual education for children. Please understand, lot makes a lot of difference in the education. Okay, what you get early education, but the child is a beautiful question. Now that question goes deep inside and that's more than sufficient. So what happens is that spiritual education, a right way, okay, a lot of wrong way of education is there. The right spiritual education is there. Earlier it is called Brahmacharya Ashram. Okay, Brahmacharya is not about celibacy. Brahmacharya is Brahmani Charitam Manasam. That means in that you are told about you are given an understanding about the God. So that education started at the age of 8. Now what happened is that Upanayam you do at the age of 8. It's a ceremony, third ceremony, but we don't give education to the child about Brahman. So when the education is missed, the very crucial period, right? Education period is missed, then what happens? It becomes adult education. Okay. People come to spirituality and when they're into trouble, Sankata Bandanga, Venkatramana. Okay, right? That will happen. So now what happened is systematically the education is destroyed. Please understand, this was done systematically by successive invaders. The first level of invaders was the invaders killed most of the people, these teachers. The second level of invaders, which are actually Britishers, they systematically replaced our system of spiritual education with their own system. So when the education is missed, then what happens is that some genius will come. Okay, somewhere some genius. Sri Ramakrishna, when I say genius, okay, they're called avatars. Some genius will come to establish the system of education. So Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was like genius. Genius is language which you understand. We can call it avatar. Then Amritandamai. There are many such avatars will come who are very super genius. We don't need education. Alright? Like Mozart. Mozart was a genius, musician. Like that, some people will come and they correct that system. Okay? In India, unfortunately, our system got destroyed. Okay? When the education is when the education system got destroyed, when the education is there, proper education is there, you will give, let's say, for a well-educated system, you can produce engineers and doctors in thousands. Similarly, India produced enlightened people in thousands. A system which was very well-tuned system that got destroyed. Now the re-establishment of that is taking time. For example, you compare that. Please understand what system we have. You go to people of other faith. Okay, they make sure that the child starts learning their scriptures at the age of 4, 5. Who can cook? They will make them. They will take them to church or this thing and make them learn. May not be the right education, but the education they do. Whereas that is missing in our system. The right education, that makes a lot of difference.
More of self-realization. After you reach a certain age, out of your own
Yeah.
willingness, you'll pick up a
Yeah.
spiritual book, maybe or maybe.
Yeah, but then what happens is that by the time you have come to law, it's a trial and error.
Correct.
Okay? Like trial and error, you learn programming. Trial and error, you like that. But there was a system where education was important. Okay, that's very difficult. That is why. But now it's actually again we have to bring back the system gradually, so that our youngsters and next generation will get that benefit.
What you're saying is, we need to have more satsangs and bring
No.
kids
See,
to the satsang.
see what happens is that what makes a very crucial age for learning is the children between the age of 8 and 12. Okay, that's the very crucial. You should not. They had to be taught in the way they can understand. Very beautiful way they have to understand, enquiry and understand, and they are actually fully open at that point of time. If you give them education, we can make millions of enlightened people bloom. Okay, that is missing, and that was what India's greatest contribution to the world, the system of spiritual education, and that was systematically destroyed by invaders. They understood that system. Okay. After that, of course, satsangs will help, right? Satsangs will help, but what happens is that the child, see, for example, in satsang, what happens now? The child is asking a question, which is curiosity. But what is missing is the educating the child to inquire. It's not a group education; it's a education at a smaller level, right? Encouraging the talent of the child and make the child look into that much more clearly and understanding and realize God. So that is education is very important. Of course, as we grow up, satsangs will help. The children also will get benefit in satsang. But what happens is that education, systematic spiritual education, which is called brahmacharya, ashrama, is missing. We did we did experiment. Actually, I have many organizations. Okay, I have started many organizations. My students have started many organizations. One of the organizations which we have started is called Ayush. It's called, I have 4 organizations actually which run the trust, spiritual trusts. The trust which I run is called Light of the Self Foundation, which is Atma Jyoti Satsang, where I teach the spiritual education to many people. And what has happened is over a period of time, many of my students have started establishing their own centers. So some of them have established a center called Ayush, which is actually Atma Jyoti Yuva Shakti Mission, where it has been going on for last 4 years. Children between the age of 5th standard and 8th standard, we found that is the right age for giving a spiritual education in terms of drama, in terms of story, in terms of poetry, and in terms of bringing curiosity in them. And we have found that the children pick up so well, they start teaching the adults that clarity they get that age. After that, what happens in 8th standard, what happens, they get so involved in their studies, they get pulled into that competition. 5 to 8 is the window of opportunity to teach the children. And we have taught many children, and that organization is growing. Anyway, we do what is possible within our hands. What I saw that gap, that between the age of 5th and 8th standard, there is an opportunity for giving a very valuable spiritual education to children in a right way, not brainwashing.
So do you use books or what do you use to?
No. Actually, I have teachers who I have trained for 3 years. See, it is not bookish knowledge. It's not bookish, and we cannot reach many people. We have actually reached about 50 children, because to create the teacher, it takes a lot of time for us. It's not bookish. We have to we have to get involved with children, play with the children. We have to understand their mindset and ask questions. Okay, and satisfy that, and you have to believe that children of today are so well exposed, their questions are so deep. Okay, the person who is answering, if they don't, that he doesn't give you confidence, the children will not feel the confidence. So that creating the teachers is a lot of tough job.
So you said desire is the hard part. Desire to get to God, isn't it? So doesn't everybody in this room have a desire already?
No. See, there's desire is always a priority, is there? Okay, it's always priority, right? Okay. Now let me ask you a question. Everything is, there's a priority in life. Now, for example, let us say there is you are with your family enjoying a movie, and somebody calls, your friend calls, and I am in emergency. What is your priority? Enjoying the movie or going to? Right. So desires, there is a hierarchy and priority. Now, what happens to us is that the priority is not set by what is real value, but set by the society and environment. We get dragged by that. So, by yourself, can you come to a right priority in life? I don't know. The moment you come to right priority in life, you give a priority. There is a priority for your wife, there is a priority for children, there is a priority for job. But self-relation becomes primary priority. Then don't be understanding self-relation is running away to forest. No. The understanding about God, meditation, contemplation becomes a first priority, and everything else takes a second priority. At least you will dedicate half an hour, 45 minutes a day for that. Okay? That's more than sufficient actually. So, prioritization of desires is very important. Now, to get the prioritization of desire, how do you get that prioritization? Please tell me, who will prioritize your desires? What basis you prioritize your desires? That becomes very cluttered. Right? So, that half an hour or 45 minutes of valuable time on meditation, it gives a lower priority.
I think they are.
Finding out a real spiritual truth and master becomes a lower priority.
It's okay.
It's a prioritization. Okay?
Yeah.
So, we'll close.
Very long, yeah.
लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम